Hi, I'm Abby Lease, and I'm the pastor at Zion Lutheran Church in Etters.
And hi, I'm Virginia Cover, and I'm the assistant to the bishop in the Lower Susquehanna Synod.
And we're here today to talk about the question, what does heaven mean to you? So what do you think?
Well, I think a lot of people have an idea that heaven is somewhere up in the clouds floating around, and that somehow is a good thing.
And that it's in the future.
Yes, that we will one day be reunited in heaven. Such is the popular song, "There are holes in the floor of heaven," as if the people who have died are up there looking down at us through holes in the floor.
Right.
That doesn't give me comfort. How about you?
No, that freaks me out. Right. It totally freaks me out. And heaven is somewhere far away and distant.
And that's
that
where
God lives
is.
there.
Yes.
Right.
God's up in the clouds, watching us from a distance.
Right, yes, that
full
was
of
the other
popular
song, right?
So that if people are up floating in the clouds, how does the why do we even need a resurrection in that sense?
For us, why do we need why is it important that we are going to be resurrected later if God has already sucked our souls into heaven?
Right, in these gloriously new bodies or whatever.
Right.
Yes, through the hole.
Right. Right.
Right, but rather maybe the image of sleeping, that being just in the ground, sleeping, if you will, and that will one day rise again.
I had a professor in seminary, Mark Allen Powell, who talked about perhaps when you die, you enter a timelessness where you're at the same time present with Jesus in heaven and sleeping in the ground, because time doesn't work in a linear fashion in heaven.
That's
so
right.
somehow you die and are waiting, but at the same time in heaven already, in Jesus' presence already.
People often, well-meaning people, when someone dies, may say to you, well, heaven needed another angel, especially when a child dies, or there's another flower in the garden of heaven, or those kinds of things. And that is cruel, in a sense, if we think that God would pluck people from earth, from our lives and our hearts, to have as a flower in some cloud place. That's not a God I want to be worshiping, right?
Right. Oh,
so
absolutely.
that kind of concerns me, and from a comfort standpoint, that's not comforting.
We think it's comforting because it goes with the whole fluffy cloud,
right?
Fluffy bunnies. We think it makes it nice.
But also a concern that if people think heaven is some glorious place with pearly gates and everyone's perfect and everybody gets along, why bother living here now?
Yes.
So that's worrisome, that if our theology teaches that this afterlife or this other place in the clouds is so wonderful, why would I bother working for justice now? Why would I bother, standing up for someone's rights? Why would I bother even living? To me, that's not biblical, because, as Paul says, the kingdom of God is breaking in already, but is not yet fulfilled. So already justice and peace are happening, and we are working for them, and that is part of God's kingdom.
Something that's present today and real today in our lives.
And will be
in
completed in the future.
Mm-hmm. So, what does heaven mean to you? How does your idea of God change when you begin to think of heaven as a place that is here happening to the world now, as opposed to something that is far away and unreachable with holes in a distance?
I got another song for you.
Yeah, go.
Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
My church's website, you can find me at www.lutheransonline.com/Zion Etters.
It was a lot.
It was. I know it's long. I'll have to work on that. And your
and the Synod website is lss-elca.org.
/Reformation and
/Reformation.
And you can click on Join Our Conversation.
Join Our Conversation.
To check that out.